Peppa has a secret twin sister. In fact, it's possible that she has several twin sisters, and one of them lives in the attic of her house. You may not believe it now, but you'll soon understand what we're talking about. Evil twin. Peppa Pig fans have believed for a long time that she has an identical sister who is completely evil and lives in her attic. And it all started with an official poster for the show that was released early in the series. This poster looks like a normal picture of the pig family, but hold on, zoom in on the image. There's another little pig who looks exactly like Peppa in the window of the house. That's how the theory that Peppa has a twin sister living in hiding first began, since this is one of the only things that could explain why there are two Peppas in this official poster. And it makes a lot of sense. You might think it's just a mistake. However, no one on the show's production team has ever said anything about it, even though so many fans have been asking about the poster for years. If it were only a mistake, one of the show's artists would have confirmed it by now, but it seems like everyone is trying to avoid the subject to hide the fact that the image reveals the existence of another child. Okay, if that's true, where had Peppa's lost sister been hiding all this time?
Stay tuned because another awesome Cinewave is already on.
Attic. One of the most mysterious places in Peppa's house is the attic, and that's why her twin sister was probably hiding there all this time. One of the few times we get to see the attic is in the episode Playgroup Star, and that's when it becomes easy to see that the attic is the perfect hiding place for a child. Since the place is filled with boxes and objects everywhere, it would be very easy for Peppa's twin to hide in there. In this episode, it's very likely that the little pig sister was right there, hiding from her family and even from us. But why does Peppa's twin have to live hidden from her own relatives, and why do they pretend she doesn't exist? There's something much darker behind these mysteries. Many people believe the reason is that Peppa's sister is evil. Computer. One piece of evidence that the twin exists can be found on Peppa's computer, and we can see it in the episode where she and George play together. Zoom in on this high score screen. Do you see how there are several initials next to the numbers? Each set of initials represents the name of a family member who has already played this game, and it looks like one of them belongs to the secret twin sister. GEO stands for George, PEP stands for Peppa, and so on, but the final set of initials is OOP, and there's no member of the pig family whose name starts with O, except for the twin. No one knows her real name, so it's totally possible that she's called something like Olga Pig, which would match the initials perfectly, so that's what we're going to start calling her. And there's more. Her score is very low compared to everyone else's. Could it be because Olga can only play on the computer in the middle of the night, when she comes out of the attic while her relatives are sleeping? What would you think if a new episode of Peppa Pig revealed that the little pig's secret twin sister really exists? Comment #sister down below, along with what you think, so we can read it. Evil. Many fans who believe in the theory about Peppa's twin think she's evil, and honestly, there are plenty of reasons to believe that. Olga is always hiding, watching everyone from a distance, and no one ever talks about her, as if that alone were some kind of crime. On top of that, there are also several moments in the show when Peppa acts like a villain, which leads many people to believe that Olga sometimes pretends to be her in certain episodes to destroy her reputation. In Snow, the little pig simply crushes George with a huge snowball and makes him cry. It looks like she regretted it afterward, but we think it was all an act, since even a 4-year-old child would realize that a snowball that size would hurt George. And not even Susie can escape Olga's cruelty. In the quarrel, she accused Susie of cheating at a game, and that ended their friendship. It's a little strange to think that the real Peppa would do something like that, since she loves the sheep with all her heart. However, it makes perfect sense if her secret sister did it to make Peppa lose her best friend. If the twin really is an evil version of Peppa, who wants to cause pain and suffering to everyone she meets, then the way she is treated starts to make a little more sense. She may have been abandoned by her parents for being so evil, but would you believe us if we told you that Olga may have been adopted by Daddy Pig's parents? Paternal grandparents. The pig family is very large and close, but have you noticed what's wrong with this family? Pause this scene and take a close look. Peppa's grandparents on Mummy Pig's side are here, but where are her grandparents on her father's side? They never appear, and you can even see an empty space at this dinner table, showing how much the two of them are missing from the family. What if the reason is that Olga ended up being adopted by Peppa's paternal grandparents? Daddy Pig's parents may have felt sorry for Olga after she was abandoned and decided to adopt her. If that happened, it's easy to imagine Daddy Pig cutting off contact with his parents so that he could stay as far away as possible from the evil little pig who now lives in their house. It's also possible that Peppa's paternal grandparents didn't adopt her twin sister just because they felt sorry for her, but because they are evil too. In that case, the pig family would be in serious trouble, because it would mean that they have several relatives who are planning to destroy them. But wait, if Olga is living with their paternal grandparents, why would she also be hiding in the pig family's house in the poster that started this whole theory? Well, this is when we remember that we're talking about a purely evil little girl who is extremely jealous of Peppa. She must hide in her siblings' house because she wants to spy on them, even though she has a new home to live in. The evil twin is completely driven by hatred. In fact, do you want to know what she did that made even her own parents decide to abandon her? Here's a little preview. She took the lives of several people, but we'll explain that in more detail soon. Other sisters. Even real-world science agrees that Peppa should have a twin sister, or rather, several of them. Although Mummy Pig has officially had only 3 children, real pigs usually give birth to around 10 to 14 piglets in a single pregnancy, so it's pretty strange that Mummy Pig only had 1 baby at a time. Of course, that's only what the show reveals, because it's possible that Mummy Pig secretly had several other piglets. The characters in Peppa Pig have many of the same characteristics as the animals they represent, since Peppa is always jumping in muddy puddles and making pig noises when she laughs. So it's fair to believe that Mummy Pig really did have several piglets during the pregnancy that brought Peppa into the world, which would make Olga just one of the main character's many twin sisters. But if that's true, where are all of them? So remember when we said that Olga may have taken the lives of several people in the past? There's the answer. This evil little pig eliminated every one of her sisters until only Peppa and Olga herself were left. At least that's what we think, since it explains why these girls have never appeared in the series and also why the evil twin was abandoned.
The subscribe button is flashing just for you. Click it and hit the bell right now.
Basement. We had talked about Olga hiding in the attic, but that is far from the only place in the pig family's house where she could hide. The basement is another great hiding place. We've also only seen the basement of Peppa's house a few times, and we can already tell that the lights are almost always off down there, making it much easier for the twin to hide, even when someone goes downstairs. When Daddy Pig goes down to the basement in the episode The Power Cut, he bumps into something along the way and wonders who put it there. It may seem like a small detail at first, but do you realize that an object was moved in the basement, even though no one usually goes down there? If anyone could have moved that object, it was Olga, and we can be sure that she did it to hurt the next person who came down there. New house. Everything we've talked about applied to Peppa's old house, but now that the pig family's home has been renovated and become much bigger, the evil twin has many more places to hide. Every room has much more space now, and as if that weren't enough, she has gained a brand new hiding place, the garage. Just like the attic, the garage is filled with boxes and toys that are perfect for the little girl to hide behind, allowing her to remain unseen even when Daddy Pig enters the garage to get the car. Another great hiding place is Evie's room, since the baby is too young to understand what is happening and would mistake Olga for Peppa if she saw her. But perhaps the twin has an even more terrifying hiding place that is much harder to find. Underground house. Just imagine if Peppa's twin sister had secretly been living in an underground house beneath the pig family's home all this time. The worst part is that this wouldn't be the first time we've seen a house beneath the ground in the show, since the rabbit family lives in a house that is underground. All the houses in Peppa Pig are built on hills that are perfect for creating underground hiding places. So, since Olga is obsessed with watching and stalking her relatives, she would be the only character crazy enough to build an entire base underneath Peppa's house. And if we take this theory even further, we can't rule out the possibility that the twin has several cameras recording Peppa's life so that she can watch everything from her underground hideout. If Olga has gone this far, then she would definitely be one of the creepiest characters in cartoons.
The fun continues with just one click. There are 2 videos on the screen waiting for you.
Thanks for watching, and see you soon.